finally this week here in Galway, we all love our cuppa. We caught up with a Galway company who were setting new standards in tea.
I'm drinking tea. If it's good enough for me, then it's good enough for you. We can have tea for two. How do you do? But if you have to...
It came about in various manifestations. The idea was there already, I would say, 12 years ago. My mother is a traditional herbalist from the Czech Republic, so I was treated with herbs all my life, and I think that had quite a deep impact on my life because I saw herbs worked very well. I never had to take antibiotics in my whole life. So, I mean, might be lucky as well, but you see, that was my starting point to get really interested in the world of plants. I think the first step towards Solaris was when I blended herbal teas for a community of about 90 people. I was living there for 2.5 years, and I was setting up the herb garden there and just harvested the plants and made the teas and got good feedback. About 2 years later then I was studying herbal medicine in the UK, and at that time a coffee shop asked me to blend some herbal teas to sell. So I did that, and after about a year they sold more teas than coffees, and I thought there's something towards that. And really since then started developing blends, and obviously it was only the first step and didn't know anything about business or this and that, and the rest came step by step.
Karen, the packaging on your products is very, very distinctive. Can you tell me how you settled on this design?
Yeah, I mean, we were looking for something a little bit more unusual, and what we found is that a lot of tea packaging in the market is square, first of all. So we were thinking of something a little bit different, so we went for a round packaging. And then we were looking at the organic form of tea, and we're trying to stylize it a little bit so that it gives it a more classic look. We also went for a quite distinct colour scheme so that it'd stand out on the shelving. And also what's nice about it is that the actual packaging feels nice. The other thing that is very good about the packaging is that it's biodegradable. So there's no plastic apart from the tiny little stickers on the side used to it. So you can reuse it, or you can just throw it in your recycling bin. And we'd encourage people to reuse it in creative ways. Since all our teas are certified organic, and they're whole leaf and spring flush teas, most of them, we felt that the packaging really needed to echo that in terms of being sustainable and a low impact on the environment. That was very close to our heart, really.
Do you find that people would look at tea as being the poor relation to coffee sometimes?
Poor relation? Well, I mean, it depends how you look at it. I think 5 years ago you could say yes, tea was non-defined, but I think nowadays it's almost becoming the new wine. You have, in the UK, we realized that at the moment a huge interest in specialty teas. I was on a trade show 2 weeks ago, Cafe Culture, and it was mainly about coffee as such, but there were 6 or 7 specialty tea companies there, and everyone realized tea is going to be the new coffee or wine. And how many products do you have in the range now?
At the moment, we have our herb tea packaging, which is really what we set out with, because we're both medical herbalists. And then what came later on is our specialty tea range, which focuses more on green tea, white teas, oolongs, more specialty teas in the market.
Herbal teas obviously are made from a whole varied source of plant material. So our herbal teas would range from health benefits for different body systems like relax or sleep, energizing. Then we have more specifically medicinal teas like a digestive tea or like a sinus tea, like a urinary tract infection tea. So we geared it more towards specific conditions, but saying that, we always kept taste in mind, because there's such a whole variety of good tasting plants, that medicinal aspect doesn't exclude a nice taste. Now, obviously, with the green teas, white teas, they've gotten quite a lot of press for their health benefits. It's generally antioxidants, and antioxidants would be cell protective, so that can be used in a whole range of conditions like preventative in heart problems, kind of atherosclerosis or hardening of the arteries, cancer. It's antiseptic, oral antiseptic, it stimulates the immune system. So you have probably around 100 health benefits in green tea.
To combat the fact that a lot of people do find the convenience of tea bags handy, what we've come up with to come to an in-between is our new silken tea bag range, which basically, the bag itself is very attractive because it's see-through. It's made from non-GM cornstarch, which is also biodegradable, but the tea in it is still whole leaf. And what makes that very different from a normal tea bag is that in the normal tea bags, the tea would be chopped very finely, which means most of the antioxidants are going to be lost. Whereas here you have the convenience of a bag, but you still have the whole leaf tea, so you're going to get about 90% of your antioxidants and the goodness of the tea. So that's our in-between, but we still would be very passionate about going to the loose tea concept, really,
I think that is the point that makes us special. A lot of specialty tea companies just import and distribute, whereas I think our passion also lies in the creativity of blending nice blends together, be it for health benefits or also for taste.
So if somebody had a specific requirement for a special type of tea, can you make that up for them?
Certainly. On our website we have a personalized blend form where people can fill in their requirements, what they would like in terms of either health benefits or taste. And I think that is quite interesting and a creative part of our work, that we can do that. We can specialize blends, yeah.
And finally, do you think that the Galway palate for tea is mature enough now to embrace these products?
Certainly, yeah. I mean, in the retail shops where we have these teas, the teas are going very well, and generally we get amazing feedback, both on the packaging and the quality of our tea. I mean, I would say personally, with our teas being first flush or spring flush harvest, which you don't get